Hey there, welcome back to the deep dive. I think we might need a whole new playbook just to keep up with all the incredible info we've got lined up for you today. I'm Hari, and I'm ready to jump into this deep dive with you.
And I'm Kimi, excited to help break down everything we've learned about a true game changer. Someone who's not just breaking records, but breaking barriers in the world of basketball and beyond, the one and only Caitlin Clark.
Okay, so to kick things off,
Yeah.
let's be honest. Sometimes it feels like we need one of those old school, scroll-like stat sheets just to capture everything Caitlin Clark accomplishes in a single game. Am I right?
That's absolutely right. And, one thing that really struck me when I was going through all this material is that Caitlin's journey actually started with some pretty humble beginnings, like way before the national championships and the WNBA spotlights.
Interesting.
Imagine this, a 5-year-old Caitlin playing basketball, not just with any group of kids, but in boys' leagues, because get this, no girls' league in her area could actually match her skill level at that age.
Wait, seriously? She was already outplaying everyone at 5 years old. Talk about an early sign of her incredible talent. I mean, most kids are still trying to figure out how to dribble without tripping over their own feet at that age.
Yeah.
It makes you wonder if those early experiences playing against older boys actually helped shape her competitive fire and that fearlessness we see on the court today.
It's definitely a possibility, and you can't deny that it makes for a great story, right? But even when she moved on to high school, her game was on another level.
Right.
Now, we all know about her insane scoring ability, but what really impressed me is that she wasn't just a one-woman show.
Yeah.
I mean, she led her AAU team, the All-Iowa attack, to multiple championships. This woman was a born leader and a winner from the start.
So it wasn't just about racking up points for herself. She was already focused on elevating her entire team, which is pretty remarkable for someone that young. And speaking of remarkable decisions, can we talk about her college recruitment journey?
Yeah.
She initially committed to Notre Dame, which is obviously a basketball powerhouse.
Mhm.
But then, in a move that probably surprised a lot of people, she switched to Iowa. It really makes you wonder what went into that decision.
Well, from everything I've read about her, Caitlin is fiercely independent and has a strong sense of what she wants. It seems like she realized that Iowa was a better fit for her, both in terms of her playing style and the overall environment. It really speaks to her self-awareness and her willingness to trust her instincts, even when it meant going against the grain.
That's such an important point, especially for young athletes who might be facing similar decisions. Choosing the right program, the right coach, the right environment make all the difference, even if it means turning down a big-name school like Notre Dame. And speaking of Iowa, I think it's safe to say that her college career was nothing short of legendary. It's almost like it unfolded in these distinct chapters, each one more captivating than the last.
It's true. Her college years were like watching a highlight reel in real time. And there were so many moments that really stood out to me, like her freshman year, for example. She burst onto the scene, leading the entire NCAA in scoring, which is an incredible feat for any player, let alone a freshman.
For sure.
But there's this one detail I came across that really stuck with me. She actually broke the scoring record for Nebraska's home arena, the Pinnacle Bank Arena, while she was at it.
Wow, I hadn't heard that one before, but
Yeah.
it did totally make sense. It's like wherever she goes, records are just destined to fall. It's almost unfair to the other teams at this point.
Yeah.
But it's not just about the points with Caitlin, right?
Oh, absolutely not. That's what makes her so unique. Her sophomore year, she pulled off something that had never been done before in women's division. Basketball, she led the league in both points and assists in a single season, is right. She's not just a scorer, but a facilitator, a true floor general who can elevate her teammates' games as well. And that combination of scoring prowess and playmaking ability is what makes her such a threat on the court. But, it's interesting because amidst all these incredible achievements on the court, she was also excelling in the classroom. Caitlin was actually named the Division Academic All-American of the Year, not once, but twice.
Wait, hold on. So she's breaking scoring records, dishing out assists like magic, and somehow finding the time to maintain a stellar academic record. Talk about a role model for young athletes everywhere. It's proof that you can excel in multiple areas of your life if you're dedicated and driven. And speaking of driven, we can't forget about her iconic junior year, where she led Iowa to their first ever national championship game appearance. I mean, that you can't see me moment after hitting that game-winning three-pointer against Louisville in the Elite Eight was pure magic.
Oh, absolutely. That shot will go down in women's basketball history. But what's even more remarkable is that she also shattered the scoring record for the entire women's tournament during that run. And get this, she even broke the men's scoring record for the tournament as well. It's mind-boggling to think about the level of dominance she displayed on that stage.
It's like she was rewriting the history books with every single game. And this is all before even entering the WNBA. which is just wild to think about. And then comes her senior year, where she achieves what many consider the pinnacle of college basketball success, breaking the all-time NCAA scoring record for both men and women, surpassing even the legendary Pete Maravich. I mean, come on, that's a name that resonates with basketball fans across generations.
It's a testament to her legacy, her place among the all-time greats of the game, and the thing is, her impact goes far beyond those numbers on the stat sheet. Caitlin has become a cultural phenomenon, inspiring a whole new generation of fans to embrace women's basketball. They're calling it the Caitlin Clark effect. Record attendance at games, soaring viewership numbers, and a newfound excitement surrounding the women's game. It's like she's single-handedly changing the perception of women's basketball and making it more mainstream, which is something that many great players before her have strived for. It's truly inspiring to see her use her platform to elevate the entire sport and make it more accessible to everyone. And of course, we have to talk about her transition to the WNBA, because she didn't just step into the league quietly. She made an immediate impact as a rookie. She became the first Indiana Fever player ever to achieve a triple-double.
Exactly. She proved right away that she could compete at the highest level of professional basketball, and it wasn't just a flash in the pan. She's been racking up points, dishing out assists like it's second nature, and consistently leading the league in scoring and playmaking. It's like she picked up right where she left off in college, and honestly, it's been a joy to watch her game evolve at this level. It's like watching a master class in basketball every time she steps on the court. And it's not just about the raw athleticism. It's her creativity, her vision, her basketball IQ that really sets her apart. You mentioned the Caitlin Clark effect earlier, and I think it's important to highlight how her playing style has contributed to that. She plays with this kind of Stephen Curry-like flair, hitting those deep threes, those no-look passes, making plays that just leave you speechless.
You're absolutely right. She's brought a level of excitement and unpredictability to the game that's truly captivating. And I think it's important to note that while her scoring gets a lot of attention, her passing skills are equally impressive. She has this incredible ability to see the court and find her teammates in ways that most players can only dream of. It's like she's playing chess out there while everyone else is playing checkers.
And that's what makes her such a complete player she can score at. Will create opportunities for her teammates and control the tempo of the game with her vision and decision-making. But, it's not just about basketball. With Caitlin off the court, she's incredibly well-rounded and has a wide range of interest.
That's what makes her story even more compelling. She's not just a basketball star. She's a multifaceted individual with a passion for life that extends beyond the court. For example, did you know that she's an avid golfer? She's even played in pro-am tournaments alongside PGA Tour professionals.
Wow, that's impressive. I had no idea she was that serious about golf. It just goes to show that she's not afraid to challenge herself in different areas and pursue her passions outside of basketball. And speaking of passions, we can't forget about her incredible work with the Coralville Community Food Pantry.
Absolutely. Her commitment to giving back to her community is truly inspiring. She's used her platform to raise awareness about food insecurity and has personally donated a significant amount of money to the pantry. It's a reminder that even with all the fame and success, she hasn't forgotten her roots and is dedicated to making a positive impact on the lives of others.
It's really refreshing to see an athlete of her caliber using her influence for good and giving back to those in need. It really speaks volumes about her character and her values. And speaking of making a difference, can we talk about the whole NIL phenomenon and how Caitlin has become one of the highest earning college athletes ever through these deals?
It's been fascinating to watch how the whole NIL landscape has evolved, and Caitlin has definitely been at the forefront of it. I mean, she's landed deals with major brands like Nike, Gatorade, even Goldman Sachs. It shows her incredible marketability and her ability to connect with audiences beyond just sports fans.
It's like she's become this brand unto herself, and companies are recognizing her value, not just as an athlete, but as a role model and someone who can represent their brand in a positive light. It's a testament to her hard work, her talent, and her overall persona. And it's not just about endorsements for her. She's also shown a real entrepreneurial spirit.
But absolutely. She's not just passively accepting deals. She's actively shaping her own future. Did you know that she actually served as an executive producer for an ESPN Plus docuseries called Full Court Press?
Really?
Yeah, it followed the journeys of 3 women's college basketball players, including herself, during the 2023-2024 season.
Wow. So she's stepping into the world of media production as well. That's amazing. It shows her ambition and her desire to tell stories that go beyond just her own experiences. And on that note, I think it's safe to say that Caitlin Clark's journey is far from over. She's already achieved so much, but it feels like she's just getting started.
That's the most exciting part, right?
Yeah.
Where does she go from here? Does she continue to dominate the WNBA, setting new records and winning championships? Does she leverage her platform to create even more opportunities for women in sports? Does she maybe even branch out into other areas like entertainment or business? The possibilities seem endless.
It's almost like we're watching a superstar in the Wiccan, making someone who has the potential to transcend the world of sports and become a cultural icon. And, as we wrap up this deep dive, I'm left with this lingering question. Will Caitlin Clark's impact be limited to the world of basketball, or will she become something more? A figure whose influence extends far beyond the court, inspiring generations to come.
That's a question that only time will answer, but one thing is certain. Caitlin Clark has already left an indelible mark on the world of sports, and her story is far from finished. It's been a privilege to explore her journey with you today.
Absolutely. And we want to thank you, our listeners, for joining us on this deep dive into the extraordinary world of Caitlin Clark. Until next time, keep exploring, keep learning, and keep diving deep.